Hello folks, welcome back to the channel, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce the Turbine Duke, which will be released very soon. And oh my goodness me, of all the aircraft I have shown recently, this has got to be up there as one of the most exciting. This is a big deal, make no mistake. You know, every now and then an aircraft will come along that will completely change the game and make you think differently about your sim, the way you approach an aircraft, because it has systems depth that will keep you up into the early hours of the night reading manuals. And this is an investment to your hobby without a doubt. Let's just start it off here at the very top, because I am absolutely confident that this will be your favorite twin in MSFS. Now, this is the turbine variant of the Duke family, but there's also a piston version which you will see on the channel without a doubt. You will be definitely seeing a lot of this aircraft in the coming weeks and months. But since I've got a feeling, I might be wrong, that most YouTubers who do have a preview of this will be showing the piston version, I thought I would show you the turbine variant. And I'm going to take this, not today, but in a new series in VR all the way from the UK to the US on a ferry flight. And you know what? This is the kind of aircraft you do want to take around the world, because when you lock her up for the night and you've finished a flight and you know you've done everything correctly and you haven't damaged anything, it is the most rewarding experience, and it really does make you think differently about your add-ons. And it also spoils you as well. So what I'm going to do now is read off some of the features, some of very many, because there's a lot to get through here. And whilst I do that, I'll just pan around so you can see some beautiful shots of this incredible model here. So the Piston and Turbine Duke are available separately and as a discounted bundle. And it does have a 160-page manual with systems guide, tutorials, operating limitations, performance tables. You get the idea. So in terms of the feature set, we've got 130 random scheduled or performance triggered failures, which can all be set in the tablet, because we've got a tablet with this aircraft, guys. Very exciting. I'll show you that in a moment. There are also new sounds, which, as you know from this channel, will make me very happy, because they've been created by Boris Audio Works, which, well, he's very respected, and I can't wait to hear those sounds, because in my opinion, that can make or break an add-on. In terms of the simulation of the aircraft, like the engine and aerodynamic performance, it actually matches the real world counterpart within 2%. Holy moly, that's very impressive. And of course, you've got the usual things like fully simulated environmental controls, pressurization systems, new engine preheating simulation, which can require say a heater or ground power cart when it's very cold outside. There is of course the usual electronic and engine simulation, which is not just a scripted thing, but it's living and breathing inside the aircraft and will change depending upon how you use the aircraft. There is a new gyroscope physics simulation for electric and pneumatic gyroscopes, new KLN 90B vintage GPS. Yes, I am reading this, guys. I don't know all this off the top of my head. This is a very, very intricate and incredibly detailed study level add-on. Okay, folks, this definitely deserves the accolade study level. Things like mathematically accurate VOR and ADF signal degradation, 50 normal and abnormal checklists with native control highlighting. There is also very specific features depending upon the version that you have, and actually I would recommend getting both. But say for the Piston Duke, you have new physics-based engine simulation for cylinder compression and starting, feathering, that kind of thing. New propeller hub and unfeathering accumulator with feather locking pins. On shutdown, there's a new physics-based sound system, so sounds like engine starting are not just recordings, but instead layers of sound, like I said before, which are, you know, dependent upon the environmental conditions and how you treat the aircraft, so you're not going to get the same start every time. BlackSquare also claim that it has the most advanced turbocharged simulation in MSFS. I quite believe that. Things like fuel-injected engine simulation with fouling, vapor lock, flooding, backfires, all that kind of thing. So that's the piston Duke. In terms of the turbine Duke, which you see today, there is new improved turboprop dynamics, including ITT, TRQ, NG, FF and FP, hot starts, hung starts, new turbine engine failures such as compression stalls and surging, fuel control failure, fuel filter clogs, propeller governors, and fire suppression systems. New FOD damage as well, I guess for the inertial separator. New turbine engine propeller and feathering physics driven simulation. Wow. It is an absolute hammer blow of simulation and realism. If you've ever wondered if MSFS is a game or sim, well, I think this aircraft certainly changes things and changes your perspectives, that's for sure. So with all that being said, and I know you've just had a very close-up, beautiful tour of the aircraft, let me show you the checklist, and we're going to start this aircraft up. In fact, actually before that, let's have a look at this beautiful iPad, which is new for Black Square. And of course you have the usual options like changing your avionics stacks. We're going to go for the GTN 750 today. Lots of features to customize this to your liking. I love this. Very, very nice. Again, I do feel this rivals that of the A2A Comanche, and honestly, that is the highest praise I can ever give to any add-on. So we're just going to leave things for default for now, simply because, well, I'm quite overwhelmed by all this as it is. So this is just a preview. We will get to know this aircraft through the coming weeks and months, I can assure you, because as I say, we're going to do a big tour with this bird. So you've got all of the mechanics, the components, the systems, and they all sort of show what they're doing when the aircraft is alive. And we will look at this and admire it. It's just mind-boggling, isn't it? So you've got the left engine here, the right engine, the electrical system. Just look at that. Absolutely incredible how you can see all the buses doing their thing, where the electrical current is going or where it isn't, perhaps. We've got the cabin ventilation system here as well, which is all modelled. Fantastic. And of course, the failure system, which is very, very detailed. My goodness me. Unbelievable. But for now, what we're going to do, okay, is attempt to start this aircraft up from the checklist, because of course Black Square aircraft are all about the, you know, procedures and doing things correctly, and the checklist system has always been a major part of their add-ons. And I have messed around with this before, just a little bit, just to get to know it, but let's just untick all that and we'll start again. And we will jump into VR after this. I'm not quite sure which VR headset we're going to use at the moment. I've probably already put it in the title though. Whether it could be the Somni VR1 or the Varia XR4 or the Pimax, I guess you already know that. Right, so pre-flight inspection has been complete. I think that's the only thing I would love to see on this is a walk around. You know, much like the Just Flight Tomahawk and A2A Comanche, that would really make this even better. But I feel very unqualified to even nitpick on an aircraft this incredibly detailed. And by the way, in terms of texture detail, this is right up there with the best, which is a surprise because you'd think with all the systems depth and all that study level, you know, goodness going on, that somewhere would have to suffer in terms of the development, but it hasn't at all. Like, everything looks so detailed. And the sounds, of course, are very nice as well. Anyway, control lock has been removed. By the way, that's I'll just show you that in action. Very nice sounds. Wow. It's just so cool. Seats and seat belts are secure. Cabin door is latched. And of course, if you're not sure where things are, in fact, let's just listen to the sound here. Trouble is now, I can't get to the door handle. There we go. I'm not used to being in out of VR, rather. It's a bit clunky, so sorry about that. So yeah, that is now latched. Nose baggage door, we'll presume that is latched. Parking brake is set. Landing gear is definitely down. Electrical systems are all off. Engine and avionics switches are off. Oxygen pressure, that is within limits there. Circuit breakers, which of course are all modelled. Look at these. Wow. And they could pop out at any time as well. So you do need to check these things, guys. Bleed air. You can see I've done some of this stuff already. But yeah, bleed air is in the off position. The pressurization lever is also in the off position. Alternate static air is in a normal position. CO detector, we'll just test this. And of course, everything in this aircraft is modelled. So let's just say that, okay? Every single thing in this is modelled. So that will make it all easier for me to explain the craziness of this amazing aircraft. Power levers, they are now set to idle. Condition levers should be, in fact, that's my Bravo on my motion rig. So let me just do that now. Reach over there. Condition levers, yeah. Trim is centered. Fuel selector is, or they should be, on, and they are. Okay. Before engine start, so beacon light is in the on position. Battery master, let me just switch that on my Bravo. There we go. That's a nice sound, isn't it? Fuel quantity, we've got enough for today's flight. We're going to head, by the way, from Newcastle up to Edinburgh. That's the plan at the moment. Annunciators, test and consider. Okay. Beautiful lights. Very nice. Of course, BlackSquare are also known for their beautiful lighting. So, and as you can see here, it does look very nice. So, we're going to check both batteries now. So, battery 1, check the volts. There should be 23 volts minimum. That's all good. And we'll now do the same with battery number 2. The checklist system is so well done in this. It really is. And they usually work in VR as well. So I presume that's still the same. Go back to both. We'll now turn the left and right ignitions on. So I think you go to auto first, then on. Oh, this brings back memories, guys, because I don't know if you remember a company called Real Air Simulations. Their Turbine Duke and Piston Duke was legendary in that space. And I flew the wings off that thing hundreds and hundreds of hours in FSX and P3D. So it's so exciting to have this back in the sim. So we need to make sure they're off. Engine start. Wow. Okay, we're already at the engine start. So what I'm going to do now, guys, is we're going to jump into VR. So I'll see you in a few moments' time. Right, folks, so welcome back. We're now in VR, and this is the exciting bit, because now I can explain to you how it feels to be back in the Turbine Duke. It feels like, well, very nostalgic actually, because, as I say, I have put many hours in this aircraft in previous iterations in P3D and FSX with the Real Air Simulations version, and it feels like coming home in many ways. And just looking out at that massive, beautiful engine, and just the texture quality is perfect everywhere. It is beautiful. I can't find anything wrong with it. Wow. Right, anyway, so we're now going to start the aircraft up, and if it's a bit too quiet, or if I'm a bit too loud or whatever, don't worry, I'm going to adjust that after the engine start. So, yeah. So excited. So let's make sure everything is where it should be. So right starter will now switch on, which I believe, let's just check the checklist works. Yes, it does. Oh wow, here we go. Bus volts, make sure that they are where they should be. Gas generator 15% minimum. Condition lever to run at, we're topping out here about 17, maybe just 18%. Introduce fuel. Oh, listen to that. Oh, I'm so excited. Look at the gyro coming to life. Oh, and we've got VR click spots as well. Oh, this is incredible. I love it. Okay. Yeah, I'm proper excited about this. This is... I've been waiting for so long for this aircraft. Right start. Oh, hang on a minute. Sorry. Right starter off at 52% NG, which we already got to because I was too busy getting quite emotional. Right. Right ignition off. Engine instruments check. Everything does look okay. And now we're going to put the generator on. Battery temperature. Where's that? Oh, there it is there. Okay, keep an eye on that. That's a new thing, battery temperature. And so we're going to do the same thing again. Here we go, left engine. Let's open this as well. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm actually really pleased I'm using the Pimax crystal because I can hear the sounds with the DMAS speakers very nicely. 15%. Topping out again, 17.8, 7.9. Introducing fuel. Checking the ITT for hung starts, hot starts. And you're going to have to think about this sort of thing, because you may get a bad start. So we've done all that now. That's all good. Temperature below 140 Fahrenheit, which it is. After starting, light as required. We've got beacon light on. Taxi light can come on now. That's fine. Weather radar. Yeah, we'll switch that on. I love how the zoom spots, they're probably a little bit too zoomed in, if I'm honest. We don't need to be quite that zoomed in, but that, as I say, this is a beta. Avionics. Fired into life there. Again, look at that. Oh, this is an attack on the senses, guys. What an absolutely beautiful aircraft. Okay, cabin temperature as desired. Let's go to auto. So in terms of performance, oh, hang on a minute, guys. Sorry, my rudder pedals appear to have disconnected. Right, see you in a moment. That happens to me all the time, doesn't it? For some reason on this channel. See you in a moment. Right, it's now time for me to shut up. You'll be very pleased to know. And we're going to take off in the DOF Reality H2 in the Pimax crystal. Flaps are set, power is set. I've got quite a few things being lit up on the dashboard, but we won't worry too much about that for now. It's just such a beautiful cockpit, it really is. Anyway, here we go. And the lag with the turbine mode. Oh, feel that power. Oh. Anyway, I'm going to be quiet now. I promise. Oh my word. So there we have it. The Turbine Duke flies again in MSFS. So my thoughts about the sound, while they are fantastic, I'm not sure whether they're just a little bit subdued, but then it is the turbine version, and perhaps that's why, because it is a very smooth sound, isn't it? But they just don't sound quite as loud as I was expecting. I think that's the only thing at the moment that has just got me thinking. But that could just be me. You know, I might be completely wrong there because I don't really know what a Turbine Duke sounds like, but comparing it to the old FSX version, it does seem a little bit quiet on the outside. You know what I mean? But there's spatial sounds, very, very nice. And I'm sure there's things they can probably do still before the release. It's just a little bit on the quiet side there. So let me know in the comments below, am I wrong? Or do you feel the same way? I'd be intrigued to hear your views on that. Right, so ignitions are now on auto. Oil doors are open. Yep, keep them open. Propeller 21,000. So yes, take that back quite a bit here. In fact, actually, that's just right there. Lovely. Yeah, in some ways the sounds are better in the cockpit than they are outside. Power levers. Well, yeah, they're already set. That's fine. To 1260. In fact, we're well below that at the moment. Ice deflectors as required. Cabin temperature mode as desired. En route climb. So yeah, we're all good, folks. I think at this point we can relax a little bit. We'll have a look in the back. Landing lights off now. And let me tell you, folks, so far I am absolutely blown away with this. Blown away. Oh, I found something that doesn't work. The vents. Fair enough. Shades work, as you'd expect. Although I always struggle with the shades. Let's just trim out a little bit. She's a rocket ship. Absolute rocket ship. So the plan is we are going to imagine that someone's bought this very turbine Duke in the US, and we've been summoned to fly it all the way from the UK over the Faroe Islands to Iceland, Greenland, into Canada, and then into the USA. Real world weather, and let's see if we can get there without anything bad happening. I think that will really make a great series, so I'm really looking forward to that. Last time I did a ferry crossing was actually in X-Plane 11 with the Hot Start TBM 900, and many of you know, and if you don't know I'm going to tell you, that the Hot Start TBM is possibly one of the greatest general aviation aircraft ever to exist in any sim, and you know, the level of detail is incredible. Well, I have a feeling for the first time in 10 years or more, this could be the new leader, not just in MSFS, but in all of the sims and all the aircraft that I've ever tried. So let's have a quick look here at all of the electrical systems doing their thing. Everything's in the green, so hopefully that's a good thing. Oh, look at this! Engine condition 100%, so we're doing something right, folks. I don't know what any of that means, but there is some captivating videos on the Just Flight YouTube channel from the Black Square developer explaining all of this. So I will link that series playlist in the description below. Is this worth it? Oh, hell yes. It is absolutely worth every penny. This is the kind of aircraft, as I said before, it's an investment to your hobby. God, what an experience. I'm just so blown away with what we can do right now in 2024. I never expected this level of immersion to be in my own home. I know I say that, guys, a lot, but you know, a lot of 2D YouTubers out there show aircraft and they don't get anywhere near as excited as I do. There's a reason for that. This thing on my head, VR, it changes everything. And again, thank you to Black Square if you're watching this, and Just Flight, for implementing VR, making it VR compatible out of the box, because that's what we want. So what we'll do now then is we'll just be in heading mode for a moment. Oh, I think actually no, I think it has intercepted our course here. Careful with this cloud, but it's a nice day today. We shouldn't get any icing. Just look at the textures on this. Just absolutely beautiful. Alright, that's, yeah, we're in the cruise now. So oil doors can be closed. Ice deflectors closed. Pitot heat on if temperature is below 4 Celsius. Well, I've just left them on anyway for now. I'm looking here. Oh, here we go. Let's see what the outside temperature is. Yeah, we're hovering around 5 degrees actually, so no, we'll keep that on. Windshield heat, I think we'll have that on as well actually. And look there as the windshield de-ice volts come into life. Prop heat as required, surface de-ice, all good. Fuel imbalance, we'll be checking that as we go along. Propeller, 2000 RPM, that's good. Power levers, all good as well. Cabin temperature, does it tell you the cabin temperature on this? Not sure if it does or not. Okay, so we've got fuel on board here, endurance, which is only 1 hour, range 255 nautical miles, but we don't have, sort of, doesn't tell you what the temperature is in the cabin. But again, oh no, it does it here. Okay, of course. Oh, look at this. See here the aircraft and cabin altitude, the temperature, the pressure, air conditioning, everything working. Oh, absolutely unbelievable stuff. Actually, can you move this around? Just wonder if you know. I don't think you can move it around in VR. That'd be quite cool if you could do that. And again, I'm not sure if there is headphone simulation, although to be fair, the noise in the cabin isn't too bad. Right, just had a warning there for the windshield heat, that's all good. I'm looking for where you'd put the headphones in, but I'm not quite sure. It's so good to have the Duke back in the skies again, it really is. I'm going to apologise now for all of the videos of this aircraft. Whether I'm talking about VR headsets, testing them, setting videos, or just showing you flights, yeah, this is going to be featured a lot. They've done a proud so far. It's just the engine sounds are a little bit on the quiet side. Everything else sounds great, I just think they need to be a bit amplified. Let's have a look in the back anyway, because we're probably not far away from Edinburgh. Let's just set this up actually. We'll have next rad on, change fields, we'll just change that to distance to, not that one, distance to destination. 53, okay, we're 53 nautical miles away. Okay, so we're 17 minutes, so that's not too bad. That gives me a bit of time to have a look around here. That's all good. So let's have a look in the back. I'm hoping that the texture detail is not going to disappoint me here. Ah, there's some headphone simulation here, look. Okay, no, that's just, you can't click on those. So, oh yeah, in terms of the details here, very, very nice. In the Pimax crystal, and in VR in general, you know, you really can see the fit and finish of a aircraft from a developer. You can see if there's any weirdness in VR, because you're right up close to the textures. You can see everything so clear. And look at that, even the beautiful sort of woodwork here, the nice effect here, the materials from the wood to the leather to the carpet and fabrics, they all look right. That is very, very impressive. What we've got here, we've got some fuses at the top there, some lights, yeah, they tend to work, although we can't move them around. Emergency exit, is that modelled? Don't think so, but hopefully we're not going to need that today. Armrests, I think they're modelled, yeah. But you know, to be fair, this bird is first and foremost about systems fidelity. So anything extra, all the icing on the cake, like the tables and, you know, armrests and lights and all those kind of things, those are just like sort of extra fillers really. I think most people who'll be buying this aircraft are going to be enjoying it for the pure realism of an aircraft like this. Please do let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see me, by the way, fly the piston Duke, because I'll be more than happy to showcase that as well if I have time. I mean, at the moment it's really late at night, and I got the email from Just Flight with this in my inbox, and I just had to check it out straight away, because, as I say, there's not many times that something of this fidelity gets released. Right folks, at this point I think I'll leave it there, and I will join you on approach into Edinburgh. See if our first landing in the Turbine Duke, one of many, will go okay. See you in a moment. Right folks, so welcome back. I've been thinking about the sounds, and I think what it is for me is the sounds are actually superb, even outside. You know, there's so many different parts of the aircraft that are being simulated. You know, in the Doppler effect, the spatial sound effects you go around the aircraft, but I just think in terms of the mix they're just a little bit too low. But that's just my opinion, guys, and you know, I'm quite picky with sound. In the cockpit they're perfect. And just so in case you're wondering, all of these radio stacks, whether it's the KNS 81 or the KR87 TSO, the engine trend monitor, all of this stuff works as per the real aircraft, okay? Everything is how you would expect it. Pretty mind-blowing stuff. Anyway, we're about 5 minutes away, so I'm now going to kick the autopilot off, start descending. And it's really important with an aircraft like this, a turbine-powered engine, particularly in the Duke, is you have to stay ahead of the aircraft, because the lag, which is very well modelled, and it was quite hard to simulate that, I remember, in the old FSX days, it's really done well here. So you have to prepare to slow down or to speed up. You can't just, you won't get that instant power like you would with the piston-powered Dukes, which will be a whole new level, a whole different experience altogether. I'm going to fly that next. Maybe not tonight though, because it's getting very late. I need to edit this video yet. So we'll just go out to the coast. I think we're going to be clear to land on runway 24. Weather is very kind to us today. In fact, I think, if I remember, I've done a preset weather just to give me one less thing to think about. I very rarely do this. I always fly in real world weather, but because this bird is so in depth and demands your full attention, I thought for my first flight, because this is literally my first flight, I haven't rehearsed any of this, as you can probably tell. I thought I'd keep the weather stagnant so there's less to go wrong, basically. Yeah, listen to the sounds there. They are very, very nice. I mean, I rarely do this, but I already know that this is my favourite twin. It's already, like, blown apart everything. My favourite twin used to be the, well, it was a close one between the FlySimWare 414 and the Blackbird Simulations Cessna 310. And, funny enough, the Black Square King Air. And the Baron. But this is a clear winner now. Especially as you consider you've got two different variants of this bird as well. So as we're over Edinburgh there, you can see the castle looking beautiful. Oh, we've just been cleared to land. Do you know, this computer amazes me how well it performs, considering I'm flying in VR and recording and everything, the camera. It's such a great computer. I've had it for over a year and a half now. It's a 13900K 4090. Anyway, let's now lower the landing gear. That comes down pretty quick actually. She's got a nice feel about her in the air. I can just feel sort of like she's riding on a cushion of air. It feels quite fluid, which is again quite unusual for MSFS. It can feel a little bit like flying on rails sometimes, but I think those days have gone now with the advent of the dynamic weather engine. But flight modelling, good flight modelling, will definitely still kind of show the flying on rails feeling if it's not very good, and this feels very fluid. Right, props fully forward, 2190. That's in case we need to go around, but we've got a very long runway. But this is my very first landing with the Black Square Turbine Duke on camera, so no pressure here. T's and P's all looking good. I do have a left engine ignition. That's been on the whole flight. I'm not sure if that's something I've done wrong. Most likely is. We're not going to worry about that now. Here we go. A bit high in the approach, but that's fine. Again, remember that lag. Don't cut the power too early, because you may find yourself in a very, very difficult position, and we are sinking quite fast here and we're quite slow. With aircraft like this, you kind of fly them onto the runway. There's an EasyJet there holding short for us, hopefully. You can wait, sunshine, we're coming in. Feel a little bit of wind there. Right, easy does it. Oh, I'm happy with that. That was quite a smooth landing actually. And we can go into beta. We don't really need to actually. Slow down very quickly there. I can feel the bumps as well for my H2. So folks, I will leave it there because it's going to take me ages to edit this video and it's already late. But this has been the Black Square Turbine Duke, also available as a piston variant. I think it's fair to say it's blown apart the general aviation segment. Yes, I'm going. Gosh, she's so bossy, isn't she? It has definitely blown apart the aviation segment, and this is my favourite twin, hands down. Absolutely easy win. An easy win for Black Square here. I am going to fly the pants off this thing. There's a quote from VR Flight Sim guy. But literally, I am going to fly this so much. What a treat. Let's just listen to beta. Nice. Anyway, folks, thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to subscribe. I'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye for now. Wow. So, now I'm thinking, should I just call in sick tomorrow? I'm very tempted. I'm very tempted.